How's it, guys? So I'm going to talk a little bit about bass fishing today. I've currently just moved up to Nelspruit, so we've been diving into a lot of bass fishing at the moment. There's a lot of dams up this area, the Bombela area, that have got a lot of decent sized bass in them. There's a lot of dams that you can struggle at as well. And that all comes down to techniques and what type of lures you'll use and things like that. So let's talk about a bit of the tackle that I've been using lately to do a lot of bass fishing, and we have been very successful. We're averaging probably about 40, 50 bass each on every trip that we are doing. Okay, a lot of them are not big. They're those little 300-400 grammers, because unfortunately there is so many in some of these dams that they get you a lure a lot quicker than what the bigger bass do. So you've got to hunt for that bigger bass. What I've actually found out is that the bigger bass are a lot lazier. So you literally need to go and find them and drag that lure straight past their nose to attract them. But they are around. If you put on your work rate, you will find them. I mean, we were at Nyaka Dam on the weekend now, just for the Sunday, and yeah, Yaku got a decent bass, probably at about 1.5 kilos. I got one of about 2 kilos, and I got another one of about 2.5 kilos. He got a lovely blue kerper of 2 kgs, which attacked one of his rattle traps. So yeah, that was a nice bonus fish. But yeah, so let me show you what I've basically been using and playing with and testing in the whole toot. Okay, so lately we've been jumping a lot into these zombie lures. So with zombie lures at the moment, they got a very nice, okay, so they've got a floating range of jerk baits, and they've got a suspended jerk bait, which is, I think, is like 13 point something grams. Okay, so with the zombie lures, I've been finding with a lot of them, their colors are beautiful. One of the definite ones that we have been jumping onto is this chrome. It's got like a little blue crackle on the top and the whole shoot with a chrome. This is a suspended jerk bait. Look, this chrome has been working for me non-stop. It basically, whenever your weather conditions are either sunny and very windy, or overcast and also a little bit of wind, creating a bit of ripple on the top of the water, the splash is so immense that the fish cannot leave it alone. I mean, I've got this in the bigger jerk bait, and then I've actually got the exact replica in the smaller jerk bait for my ultra finesse tackle that I've been using. Okay, so that's the nice chrome. That's the UV chrome. They got other little colors as well. So this has also got a bit of a chrome you can see inside there. Also a bit of a translucent as well. So this I normally jump into. You'll see I've got that in the brown and the olive. And then I've got this in the blue as well. You see there's a bit of chrome, but it is translucent as well. So that basically, when you're using that bait, it's when your water conditions are a little bit breezy, overcast or sunny, but the water is very clean. So you don't want to create too much chrome because you're going to scare the bass off. So there's a little bit of chrome flash, but a little bit of translucency as well to play around with it. Okay, so it's a slightly more natural color compared to that big UV that I normally put on. Okay, then another one that I've been playing around with is this olive. So in the top over here, it's actually got a little bit of chrome deep inside there, but also a bit of translucency as well, and pretty dark. I mean, you can see the little balls moving around, so you can see the translucency inside it. Okay, so yeah, that's also been working very well for us. This one I didn't jump into too much on the weekend, but it is a beautiful lure. Again, yeah, for very tough water conditions, or look, if the fish are attacking your lure, change to a brighter color lure, because they just seem to just go even more crazier on it and take it even harder. Okay, this poor guy has seen his, as you can see, he has been worked. The color is coming off. If I say that is fishing every second day with the same lure for about 3 months. So it's really worked hard. This thing has got, if I had to say, probably about 100 hours in on it. It's, yeah, good 100 hours on that thing. Okay, so that's the Zombie Lure range. Obviously with the Ultra Finesse as well, there's this one. This is, oh, this I love. This little goldy browny color. Okay, so there's two different types in the Zombie Lures of this. You get this one, and then you got one that's got a little white dot in the front. Okay, we found the one with the white dot, for some of the reason the fish don't like it. But this one without the white dot, they go moggy over it as well. I definitely caught a couple of decent fish on that one. Okay, so basically with jerk baits, it's very simple with jerk baits. You got to throw your line out and give it twitches. So you're working on cadence. So when you're working on cadence, you maybe give it 1 or 2 twitches and leave it, and you give it a count. So you either count, it could depend. If the water is very warm and it is a sunny day, obviously the bass are more active. So you need to be a lot more quicker. So I normally give it 1, 2 jerks, wait for like a second or two, give it 1, 2, 3 jerks, wait for a second or two, give 1 jerk. But you need to check your cadence. You've got to sit and count the whole time. You need to see, are they taking it on that 1 second suspension? Are they taking it on a 2 second suspension? A 5 second suspension? Who knows? I mean, when the water is colder, you can leave it up to 45 seconds sometimes. You'll see in one of my videos, so that Driekopies one, the water was actually very warm. The water was sitting at like 27 degrees, which is very warm. And it was a very sunny day as well. The sun was cooking us out there. It was hot. It was humid. And I basically had just cast it out. And Yaku needed some bottles in the hole too. We needed some ice just to keep the fish in the hatch nice and happy and at a lacquer temperature. And I put my rod down and I felt my rod like give us a little movement, and I grabbed it like that. And as I picked it up, the rod took. And obviously, so that bass, and that was a decent bass. I think that one was 2.5 kilos, if I'm not mistaken. So that bass over there, on that pause, I mean, that thing was probably paused for about a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. And on that, when that suspended bait was just standing there, and probably just giving a slight bit of movement from the currents in the water and the wind and all that, that bass just decided, and he went for it. And that was it. Bass was on. So, yeah, that you've got to work on your cadence. Cadence is very, very, very important. So you've got to make sure that you twerk it. Another good tip as well is, okay, so it changes up quite a bit. When I'm using because I use straight fluorocarbon on one of my bait casters, and the other one I'm using braid. So just depending, I mean, the straight fluorocarbon, I quite like it because it sinks a lot quicker than what the braid does. So if I need to try and get my baits a little bit deeper down, so if I've got a deeper diver, this is actually a Yozuri. Okay, so you can see the lip on that, bit of a deeper diver. And so if I need to get it a bit further down, then obviously I'll use my fluorocarbon. If I'm not worried about getting it too deep down, and if I'm fishing obviously in between a lot of structure and things like that, then I change to the braid. Okay, but you'll definitely feel the difference in when you're jerking your baits on either using the mono, has got a lot more stretch play on it. The braid is very tight, very stiff. So the trick is you definitely have to, when you do your jerks, you must immediately get your tip back to leave that slack in the line, because your jerk bait, when your jerk bait goes and it does these movements, if you don't leave slack, the nose straightens out. And that's a problem. The bass don't like it when that nose straightens out. They can see something is not funny. Something is funny with this bait. Something is not good with it. So you need to give it those jerks. And when you give that slack, it sits at an angle like that. And you do the same. Give that slack. And it must sit at an angle like that. So when it's doing that, and it's actually got that movement like that the whole time, for some other reason, the bass love it when it looks to the side. Another good tip and trick as well is also look at a lot of your jerk baits that you've got. You know, when it is warmer water, okay, you want a jerk bait that faces slightly up, and sometimes even rises slightly as well. Okay, you also have a jerkbait that in colder water will actually face down and sink slowly as well. Okay, because remember that's all to do with the barometric pressure. So the fish on a warmer day will actually face in that direction and move up. Okay, on a colder day they'll face down and move down. Okay, so that is very important as well. Make sure that you're using the right jerkbait. I mean, I've got tons of jerkbaits that I bought over the years thinking they're great, and when I do the action, because obviously, I mean, it's difficult to be able to test. You see something on the shelf, you buy it, and you're like, oh, this is going to be awesome, beautiful colors, everything. It just doesn't have the right action, and it doesn't work. I mean, I've got brand new jerkbaits lying over here that I've used once, and I've thrown them back in the box and never touched them again because they just don't work for the applications that I wanted. Okay, so sometimes it is better just to spend a little bit more money and buy decent jerkbaits. I mean, we have been hunting for the Kevin Van Dam jerkbaits for a very long time. I mean, there's only like 4 colors that they imported into the country, and yeah, I mean, we've got all those colors and things like that, but there's probably about 50 different colors that you can buy in America, but you cannot get them over here to South Africa. It's very difficult. I mean, they are expensive. You're looking at like 300, 350 and upwards per jerkbait, but yeah, it works. We know for a fact it works. We've tested them. We just need to try and get them into this country sometime. So yeah, that's definitely one of the things. When it's coming to obviously to finesse fishing as well, I like to start going through to a little bit more of something that's got a more natural color. Okay. And this little guy is, I found a couple left at Garney's because Rapala actually stopped making them. Okay, the only thing is this is a balsa wood, so you don't get much distance on it. It is for ultra finesse. Okay, but I can guarantee you now, if there's a bass in the water, he's taking this thing. It's game over. He's taking it. Okay, so I found a couple left at Garney's and I went and bought them all. Okay, so that was the jerkbait side of things. Next on the agenda is our good old friend, spinnerbaits. Okay, so spinnerbaits can come in many different shapes, sizes, weights, forms, colors, you name it. Okay, we've got plenty different types over here. So spinnerbaits are very good. They always do work as well. Only issue with these things that I do have, they are expensive. And I make sure that I do fish with braid with them, because if it snaps off, it's sinking to the bottom. You'll never find it again. Sometimes you're lucky with a suspended jerkbait. If it hits the water, it floats around for a while before it starts to drop off. So yeah, they do become quite expensive if you do start losing a good couple of them. So yeah, with these guys as well, I mean, everybody knows they normally have 2 spinners, 1 spinner. Nice little protruded hook under the skirt over there. So again, yeah, with spinner baits as well, very simple movement. So when you want to retrieve your spinner bait a lot quicker, all you got to do is you got to take it and just bend that. You just got to bend that angle of that piece of metal closer in. Okay. If you want it to retrieve a lot slower, okay, then you're just going to bend it out. Okay, so you've got a wider gap, and that will make the retrieve a lot slower as well. Okay, you'll actually feel the resistance when you're winding it back like that. Okay, so that's the trick with spinnerbaits. Okay, next on the agenda is something people don't often fish with. Rattle traps. Rattle traps. Okay, so rattle traps, okay, are awesome baits. Not many shops have it. I am busy with a supplier at the moment, which I want to start sending out a lot of stock to different shops and things like that. They're going to be on the shelves. Guys, these things work. Okay. The reason why we say they work, we've tested them, we've tested. I mean, even this weekend, we could actually see some bass and things like that. And I threw a jerkbait, trying to pull a jerkbait through. They looked at it, weren't even interested, okay? Yaku threw a rattle trap right in front of the exact same bass. Boom, game over, okay? Especially if your water is very dirty, muddy water, places where the rivers have been flowing and the water is dirty, Guys, this thing makes a hell of a lot of noise. The vibration on this thing when it moves through is very erratic. The colors you can get are crazy. And I mean, that vibration and that rattle messes with that fish's lateral line, that he goes and he attacks it. He hates this thing. Okay, so that's an impulse attack, guys. It's not a hunger attack, it's an impulse attack. They hate this thing. Okay, so they literally will, and that's why this is the exact same one. Yaku's got one exactly like this. So this is what Yaku picked up that big blowkerper on. Okay, blowkerper as well. You know what? We found a lot of them that are still nesting. Well, not nesting, but they're close to their nests that they had on the spawning season. And a kerper, if you pull a lure through his nest, he gets moggy. So now this thing creates a lot more noise, a lot more action. If this thing is close to his nest, it doesn't have to get dragged through it. If it's just close to his nest, he's going to hit it. He hates it. Okay, so rattle traps, check on the shelves soon. I'm going to be posting some videos of the stock and things that I'm going to be putting on the shelves and all that. But this is amazing. Okay. Then, our other old friends. Okay. Yeah, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of packets. Hundreds of packets. These are just a few to show you. Okay. So, yeah. Yum baits, zoom baits, Guggen baits, the new Kingfisher series. I can't remember what they're called, but those are wild, guys. Those things have got so much plastisol inside them. You can pull that thing like this and it doesn't break. Okay, so definitely look out for that as well. Okay, so I mean, what's been happening up here? A lot of us, we've been fishing a lot of flukes at the moment, so doing a lot of slow fluke movements. We've just been finding anything that's got purple in it has been working up here. If it's got a red flake in it, has been working up this side. It has been absolute deadly, and I mean, you guys can fish it any which way you want to. Whether you want to throw it in and give it a slow retrieve or whatever. Whether you want to fish a Ned rig or, you know, it's all up to you. You know, it just depends with me as well. I'm just trying to have a quick squiz over here. So, yeah, this was one that we actually, so this is Yum Bait. Okay. Yum Bait has stopped making this color. We cannot find it anywhere. This thing has been deadly for us lately. And we only had one packet left. So this is my last one of this. This is the Camo Pearl. Okay, if anybody sees any in the shops, let me know ASAP. I'm sure you guys have all got my contact details. Okay, so yeah, this is the Camo Pearl. This thing has got a little bit of green, black, red flake in it, gold on the top, nice little pearl belly. Guys, it just depends. I fish them in all sorts of different ways and means. I mean, that would be the normal way that I would fish it, with a hook on the belly side. And then sometimes I just change it up as well, just depending on how the fish bites. I've normally got 2 or 3 rods with different ways that it's actually been set up. So sometimes I like to do it the opposite, wrong way around. Okay, so sometimes I fish with it like that, just because, I mean, there you can see the hook is very open over there, very open at the bottom. So in that belly over there, that hook is very open. You see, so I just cover it up like that a little bit and I fish with it like that. And that, again, just depends on, yeah, what the fish are wanting at the time. I like to try different, I mean, bass fishing is like that. You got to try different things. First of all, you got to find, what are they biting on? I mean, check your structure. Can you throw a jerk bait? Do you have to throw a soft bait? Do you have to, you know, retrieve fast? Do you have to retrieve slowly? Because remember, with soft baits as well, you got different type of retrieves and things like that. I mean, you can use it as a drop shot, you can use it on a Ned rig. I like to normally throw totally weightless right deep into the reeds and things, and I just leave it there for about 2-3 minutes, and then I just give it these small little tweaks like that, just to pick it up off the ground like that. And that's normally how I've been picking up all the bites. One other ones I've been playing with as well is all these lovely soft plastics from Wolf Lures, old John Badenhorst at Wolf Lures. Okay, so he's got some lekker soft plastics. Okay, so this is the Soboku range. Okay, very nice as well, very strong soft plastics. I mean, I've got them in a couple of different colors. He gave me a good couple of samples to test out. This is a lovely little fluke that he's got as well. So yeah, he's got multiple different ones. And I mean, I've even got a couple of things which are on some of the fishing shop shelves as well. So these are actually little flasher sequins that I just sometimes put on the hook. So that normally just floats around over there and acts like a little baby spoon. Okay. So yeah, that's all what we've basically got on the plastic sides. Yeah, so one other thing with the plastics is, yeah, hooks. Okay, so I like to use number 5 Gamakatsus. Look, red hooks. I love red hooks. Anything red attracts the bass as well. Some of my jerk baits, you'll see I put red hooks on. I try and get jerk baits with red eyes in them. Unfair Lures from America, old Paul van Rienen. I mean, he's even got those jerk baits that have got the tinsel on the side. Looks like gills. So it works. Yeah. Next on the agenda, let's have a look at, okay, very important. So fluorocarbon, very important. Okay, so I've only got, okay, I've got 20 pound left, and I've got a 28 pound Tonics Blackout that's left. This is a memory free fluorocarbon that's imported from overseas. These you can get at any fishing shop. Okay, fluorocarbon, very important, guys. I like to use fluorocarbon because it is super invisible in the water. Okay, doesn't spook the bass as much. So either I put straight fluorocarbon onto my reel, or I put braid on and I put a fluorocarbon leader. Always, always, always. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm using such thick fluorocarbon, so I normally use either the 20 pound or 28 pound fluorocarbon as a leader line. Okay, so if I'm fishing in a lot of structure, like I say, anything 15 to 35 pound winch braid. Okay, so yes, I do fish a lot with winch braid. It's a brilliant braid. I might even have some lying around here. Not 100% sure. Let me have a look, see. No, definitely not over here at the moment, but it is in my boxes. But I will show you a lot more stuff on that. You will see on my YouTube videos there is winch braid tests. Guys, it is brilliant. Anything from rock and surf to deep sea to bass fishing, even to carp fishing as well. The new camo range is lovely. I use a lot of the winch web, the white one. Okay, that is brilliant. Guys, very great diameter and excellent price. You must contact Andre. Yeah, Andre Mellet at Winch is the man to speak to. That stuff is brilliant. This is what I've been fishing a lot with. I do believe in the product, and yeah, I'm not just pitching off any sales over here. Guys, it works. I know for a fact it works. I've been fishing with Winch for the past 4 years now, for Andre. So yeah, so winch braid, yeah, definitely. So I would normally put winch braid on. So I've got on my coffee grinder. Okay, so I've got 15 pound winch braid on my coffee grinder with 20 pound Berkeley fluorocarbon. Okay, so that I normally use if I need to get a little bit more distance. Okay, but still in between structure. So I normally throw like a weightless plastic with that. The 15 pound doesn't cause too much wind resistance. Okay, but it is strong enough to get you out of that structure. So if a big bass does take you, you can get out. If you do get snagged up, you can retrieve that lure back out of there. Yeah, with my bait caster, this has got 35 pound winch on it. Okay, 35 pound winch, and then I'm using the 28 pound fluorocarbon on there. Okay. Reason why a bit of a softer fluorocarbon's got a lot of stretch on it. It doesn't break very easily. Okay. So I can use a bit of a lighter fluorocarbon compared to the braid. But yeah, so that is on there. Sorry, I don't want these rods to fall over. These are my third most important thing in life. Let's put it that way. Okay. So yeah, on my other bait caster, this has got 14-pound Berkeley Vanish on it. Okay. Reason why I fish straight fluorocarbon on this, the 14-pound I find is strong enough for certain structures and things like that, but it also has a decent sinking rate as well. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is the well, we'll speak about the rods actually just now. Let's just finish off for the line. And then I have the my little Ultra Finesse. So this is a little Sensation MS50. I mean, you see how small that little reel is. That thing is minute. Okay, this is paired up with a little Mitchell pepper stick. This is a 4-foot Mitchell pepper stick. Okay, you can see. I mean, it's minute. It's got a lovely parabolic bend on it. Okay, so yeah, this is my Ultra Finesse little guy. Okay, for those small little lures. So that one has got 7-pound Suffix fluorocarbon on it. Okay. So yeah, coming down to rods. Okay, so my 3 rods of choice at the moment. Okay, so this is a Okuma Komodo. Okay, bait caster that's on here. Okay, and then I've paired this up. This is the 7-foot Mike Iaconelli signature series. Okay, so this rod, you never know what color it is. It changes from purple to green to blue. You never know what color it is. Okay, this is the 7-foot medium, guys. Okay, rated for 10 to 20-pound line. Okay, I've got the 14-pound on this one. This I normally use for my crankbaits, my rattle traps, and things like that. Okay, things that I'm not going to joke with because it is not made for joking. This is more made for cranking. It's got a longer butt on the bottom of it. Okay, so very uncomfortable if you're going to try and jerk with it. And it is a little bit more flexible than what you want for a jerkbait rod. Okay, so great for cranking and rattle traps and things like that. Anything that you're going to retrieve. Okay. Then next on my arsenal here is the other Mike Iaconelli signature series. This is the 6'8". Okay, this is perfect for jerkbait, guys. This thing has got an excellent parabolic bend. Okay, still got the great backbone as well. This I have paired up with the new Daiwa PR100. Okay, so this has got a 6:3 ratio. So beautiful reel this. I am loving it. It is sleek. It is small. I mean, you can see how small this reel is. It's minute. It's a small little reel. It takes more than enough line. I haven't been able to cast out all the line on this. Okay. I mean, on this one at the moment, I've got 35-pound winch on it with 28-pound that blackout fluorocarbon. Okay. And I can't cast it out. There's more than enough. I'm averaging about 30 to 40 meter throws. Okay. Which is enough that you need to, because remember with jerkbaits, you don't want to throw 10 million kilometers. You want to throw just a little bit, and you want to work little bits of jerks, little bits of jerks, little bits of jerks. And if that fish doesn't pick it up, wind it up quickly, throw it in another spot, or, you know, carry on working. So yeah, the 6'8" Mike Iaconelli with that Daiwa PR100, beautiful combination. That is definitely working for me as well. And then yeah, I did show you my little Sensation. It's the Mini Finesse MF500. Sorry, Sensation Mini Finesse MF500. Lovely little reel with that little 4-foot Mitchell pepper stick. Guys, I'm still waiting to hook into a nice 2-kilo bass with this thing. I'm going to have great fun. And I'm going to have to work hard. Because like I said, there's only 7-pound line on here. So it is very thin. Gives me a nice little distance. Because remember, like I said, with these lures, they don't have much weight on them at all. So yeah, I may be getting a 15-20 meter cast. If I'm lucky, if I'm downwind, I'll get a 20 meter cast. Okay, so yeah, very difficult, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rod. Okay, lovely. So yeah, guys, that is basically what I've been using in my arsenal at the moment when it comes to bass fishing. Okay, there is a hell of a lot more to explain, guys. I mean, it's all up to you, what you're comfortable with as well. Because remember, you need to be comfortable with bass fishing. You've got to make that lure as attractive as possible. It needs to look as natural as possible as well. Okay, otherwise those bass are not going to bite. Oh yeah, and one thing, never look into the bass's eyes, guys. I've got a thing about it. If I see a bass in the corner of my eyes, I don't even look in its direction. I'll just throw in that direction and I'll 90% chance hook him up. If I look at him, guaranteed, we meet eyes, he hates me. He will not touch my lure. But yeah, a lot of dams have been difficult. Check all our bass fishing videos that I have been putting up at the moment. Yeah, keep watching as well, because I'm going to be releasing. I've got a nice meeting this week, and I should be releasing a whole lot of lures through to the fishing shops and things like that. But yeah, guys, bass fishing, enjoy it. If you need any more tips and tricks and things like that, send in the comments below. Give me a shout. I know there's a lot of professionals out there. You know what? You're learning every single day. I'm still learning every single day. I've been fishing bass for how many years? Yaku's been fishing way longer than me as well with bass. And we're both learning still every single day. I mean, you're learning different retrieves, different movements, different colors. It's a nice sport that you can keep on learning, keep on learning, keep on learning. You know, watch the videos of the professionals. Watch Kevin Van Dam's videos. Watch Mark Arcanelli's videos. You'll see they all differ. They all differ. Everybody says the different things to each other, like contradict each other almost. Okay, but it's what works for them. Okay, you can be the best professional in the world, and somebody comes and stands next to you, which is like my son. He's got this beginner's luck. He retrieves totally incorrectly in the whole toot, and guaranteed, I mean, he's actually caught more big bass than what we have. I mean, he hooked up that 3.9 kg at Rikopis the other day. For some other reason, whatever he is doing, which is totally incorrect, is irritating the bass, and they're going for that lure. So never ever say that you're doing something wrong. Yeah, it's just, you've just got to find that knack and just find the right way that they're biting. If you find the right way that they're biting, believe you me, it's going to be shot for shot for shot for shot. I mean, like I say, we've been working on it a lot now lately, and we're averaging probably a 40, 50. The other day we got 70 bass at the Goma Dam. We got 70 bass each. And yeah, it just depends. It's, you know, it's just, you got to carry on working, find that way that they're going to get attracted to, find the right color lure, what water depth are they moving at. Yeah, it's all, guys, it's a lot of work, but it is great fun. So yeah, leave your comments below. If there's anything else you want to have a look at with bass fishing, I'll keep you guys updated. And yeah, carry on watching all my other videos. So enjoy. Thank you.